This lesson is going to go through interpreting scatter plots. A scatter plot is used to relate two different measures. The relationship between the measure is shown by a trend in the data values. The independent variable is the variable you always need to know first. It is placed on the horizontal axis, or what we call the x-axis. So horizontal meaning it goes straight across, left to right, like the horizon. The dependent variable is the variable that is affected by independence. So that happens second. So the independence affecting the dependent. This variable is placed on the vertical axis, or what we call the y-axis, that goes up and down. So the first example says state the independent dependent variables and describe the relationship and the trend in the following plots. So in this graph here, the independent variable is the age, and the dependent variable, so age happens, and our dependent variable is the height. They're on the right axis. Remember, age independent, x-axis or horizontal axis. Dependent variable, it goes up and down because it's on the vertical axis. You'll notice that we read the graph starting with the x, so the age here is increasing. You notice as the age is increasing, the height values are also increasing. They're going up. We describe that as the trend. So as age increases, the height increases. Here we have another scenario that's relating time to travel to school versus height. You're wondering, why would these even be related? Well, let's go through these and you'll see why this example's here. So the independent's always on the x-axis or the horizontal, so that's my height. And the dependent is my time. That's my vertical axis. So in this scenario, we're trying to see if the height has anything to do with time to travel to school. Well, they aren't related, and you can see that the scatter plot, they're all scattered. You can't find a trend. It's not going up and it's not going down. It's just all over the place. So we would say there's no trend in the data. And the third example here is talking about temperature versus depth in Lake Ontario. So you'll see the depth is the independent, so how deep you go into the lake. And our dependent is the temperature, it just goes up and down. You'll notice the deeper into the lake you go, the temperature drops, it goes down, which means that it's getting colder. So as the depth in the lake increases, the temperature decreases. So now let's look at some more examples. Use a chart to plot the points on the graph. So we have time watching TV versus test scores. Well, we're going to say time watching TVs are independent because you can control that. And test scores, we believe, should be related to how much time you wasted watching TV as opposed to studying. So time watching TVs are independent. And test scores are dependent. So time watching TV would go on our x-axis or horizontal axis. And we're going to put hours, we always write the units. And test scores are dependent. So you look at the scale to see what you can go by. You count your tick marks to see if you can go by ones or by twos. And in this example, I think we're going to go by twos. And test scores, I'm going to skip, so I'm going to put a lightning bolt there. And then I'm going to go by fives. So let's plot these points. So I have 1 and 85, 6 and 56, 3 and 73, 2 and 75, 0 and 81, 2 and 68, 5 and 53, 2 and 70, and 12 and 40. So you'll notice that as the time watching TV increases, your test scores generally go down. What does the point D represent? So if I look at D, D is right here. It tells me that if I watch 2 hours of TV, the test score will be 75 hours. So that's what point D says. So that student discard the 10. So the trend, we always start with the X value, the independent. So as time watching TV increased, test scores decreased. Use the chart to plot the points on the graph. So here's my hours worked versus money earned. So you notice that this person who works 0 hours earns $0. Then if they work 2 hours, they get $23. 4 hours, $46, and so on. So hours works are independent because that's what you can control. And then your money earned is what we call our dependent, because that depends on how much money, how much hours you worked. So my scale here, I can go by ones. And money earned, I have to go all the way to 115. So I can go by tens. So 0 hours is $0. 2 is 23. 4 is 46. 6 is 69. 8 is 92. And 10 is 150. So you can see that the hours worked, as the hours worked, increases, the money earned increases. We call this a positive trend. Because as you look at it, it's going upward. So those are positive trends. What does the point 8 and 92 represent? That represents that when you work 8 hours, because remember this is our x, which is hours, and this is our y, which is wages earned. So that point represents, so it tells us when you work 8 hours, you earn $92. And that's it.